Hey, what's up? It's your boy MB. Yes, it is time for the unboxing of the DD 608F. It's been called the mother F of revisions. I say the F stands for all y'all. Every last one of y'all. So we've seen the trend in the market with these eights. Let's keep putting higher and higher RMS ratings. But everyone's got an 8 to 1,000 watts, but they're not able to succinctly or justify how they're able to get the 8 inch to handle 1,000 watts, other than just by keep increasing the motor size, and thereby you're supposed to believe, well, if they're so big, of course it can take this large number. It's not necessarily the truth. The main thing with eights taking 1,000 watts is the one problem that must be combated first is the ability to dissipate heat. And DD, with his latest revision, Joshua, with his latest revision, is going to show you how he's able to dissipate the heat that will be generated from sending 1,000 watts to a 2.5 inch voice core. Let's break it down with an unboxing. Baby, could you hand me a knife? Why I brought over here and did not bring a knife, but I did. This is some of the problems, things I do. Let me scoot this camera back just a little bit so y'all can see a little bit more of me and the subwoofer. Thank you, Vanna. Let's unbox it. First of all, let me say this. I've been knowing about the revision that was going to happen with the 608. What I did not know is that he was going to do this. This was a surprise to me. And he broke it down in justification. He told me he was going to improve the cooling, but he didn't tell me he was going to improve the cooling to take it to 1,000 watts. Because thereby taking it to 1,000 watts, we know what that means. He's up there in king range. Whereas before, the revision E was 4 to 600 watts. By taking this to 1,000 watts, it behooves me to test an even larger enclosure with even more power applied to it. But let's unbox it, as I said. Cardboard, sticker, and now 8. Ooh, let's get out of this plastic. Get this. And now I'm going to turn the camera around so we can get an even closer look at this boy. Okay, besides the evident height increase by the larger motor, let's break down why the revision F608 is far greater than the revision D and justify this F revision. The surround increased in height and increased in width. As you can see, because of the added X-Max, added power handling ability, we have super glue here, the DD customary glue, whereas on the 608, we have the double stitch. We have the glue as well, but the double stitch where the surround is fastened to the cone. Both of them still have non-pressed paper cones. The refinements to the Spider as well. You really can't see them, and I can't see them either, but the Spider was refined to accommodate the greater X-Max, and we'll get to that point. We'll get to that greater X-Max here in a minute. He kept the same connection for the tinsel leads, which is, I told you I love that. I love that because it gives you more of a direct lead connection. You go from here to this metal block that you screw in with Allen wrench, put your speaker terminals in, your wires in there, whatever gauge you would use. I suggest you use 10 gauge so you can get very little power loss. The Spider, the DD Spider, has one of the largest, if not the largest, spider landing in a traditional cutout, 7 1/4 inch cutout. The Spiders, you have 4 spiders. 2 spiders glued together on the top, and let's move out the way. I need you right now. 2 spiders glued together on the bottom. Both progressive roll spiders. And there's space, and this right here is the spacer for the spiders. So you have 4 spiders to help control the woofer on this stroke. Now, I want you to look right here. You see that hole? Well, that hole is also, such a heavy boy, here. So it's 4 holes on the former that you can see. Well, actually, there are 12 holes on this former. The windings go around the holes that go down the former as it goes into the motor. So that lets us get air inside the voice coil as well as air being pushed over the voice coil on this stroke. That is a feature that is not prominent or available on the 608 revision D. As you can see, there's no holes on the former. So, increased cooling so you can play louder, longer. The top plate thickness increased from 7 millimeters to 12. That 5 millimeters was transmitted to the X-Max of the driver. So you went from 13 millimeters on the old revision of X-Max to 18 millimeters of X-Max on the new revision with 60 millimeters of X mechanical throw. The top plate, the basket thickness where it joins to the top plate is double that used in most designs. So that even the basket itself acts as a conduit of conducting heat away from the pole piece. The slugs were increased on the motor structure as well. To increase the height, you went from 5 3/4 on the 608 to 6.5 on the 608 revision F, but not too tall where it couldn't be used in the tight applications, where its primary use is for an 8 is very tight where you're limited on space and you're limited on mounting depth, like in trucks. He didn't want to put a very, very large motor structure on this 8, which would force you to have to put maybe what you would call a ugly obtrusive seat lift on your truck to get the motor under the seat greater than 2.5 inches. As some manufacturers with their large 8-inch drivers, you have to use a 3.5-inch seat lift just to get the thing under the seat. You don't have to do that with the DD608, and still you'll be able to throw 1,000 watts of power to it because of the cooling features that he built inside his structure. Now the bottom plate increased as well, but this is what's catchy. I know everyone, what is this? Is this just for cosmetics? No. This is an aluminum heat sink that is fastened to the bottom plate with these Allen bolts here. All right? The heat sink bolts line up with the vents on the bottom plate. The heat sink bolts line up with the vents on the bottom plate to further dispel heat that's generated inside the pole. Inside the pole is where the most heat is generated as you apply power, which degrades your performance and stops an 8-inch wheel from handling a true 1,000 RMS. He tackled that problem directly by tackling the cooling features. Cooling on the voice coil on the former itself by putting holes on the former, holes on the top plate, the free flow design of the woofer itself to let air get into the gap, and then lastly, the heat sink, which is aluminum, is a better conductor, dispeller of heat than any other metal in the periodic table. So by using this heat sink here in this location, he's able to get the heat off the pole piece, so he's able to play louder and longer. I must say, the advancements that he did in the revision F justify the 1,000 watt rating. And as you can see, it looks substantially different overall than looking at a revision D. The 608F, which could stand for the mother F, as he called it. I think NBE says the L stands for all y'all. All y'all. I'm here. I'm the newborn in the market. And Joshua told me specifically, he wanted to go after those who were saying that, well, with the 2508, no wonder it has so much performance because it's oversized. Well, this 608 is the standard cutout that everyone else uses, 7 3/8. This is his 7 3/8 1,000 watt driver. The 8 had the first improvement over anybody in the power tune line. The 8. That just shows you how strong this 8-inch market is and how competitive it is in advancements and improvements. And this will go up the whole 600 line and advancements that he did here. Stay tuned next. When we see it move in the free air environment, then we're gonna put it inside of the We're gonna put it inside the Beast. We're gonna put two inside the mega cab on a single 2500 watt amp just to see what it can do. Other cosmetic features, you can see the 600 written on the side of the dust cap, so you would, even though they look the same, this will let you know it's revision F as compared to the previous model, which has no numbering underneath the DD logo. You have to look on the new revision, and that would tell you the difference between the two. The weight went from 17 pounds to 20 pounds, but it can still be utilized in an underseat truck enclosure or anywhere where you have tight space. And the ability to 1,000 watts will enable you to get even more potential output potential. I believe this revision is, like he said, it is the mother F of all revisions. It justifies, it proves the performance. We're gonna put the link to the DD download where he further goes in depth of what he did and why he did it, and justify and try to gain your support in the new 608F. It definitely has the MB stamp of approval. I haven't even played it yet. Just looking at it, it is a very handsome driver. Very, very handsome driver.